Liberty Station is honoring the Navy's 250th all year long.
And that includes an exhibit that honors the Navy's legacy during this milestone anniversary. Joining us tonight is Rachel Frank, events manager for Liberty Station, as well as veteran artist Joe Pisano. Good evening to both of you. Thanks for joining us here at Fox 5. We appreciate it. Yeah. Let's talk quickly about the role that Liberty Station has played in the Navy's history. Let's talk about how you're going to be celebrating the 250th. Such a milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Liberty Station is the former Naval Training Center from 1923 to 1997. Takes great pride in honoring the Navy, and we have a celebration throughout the year with art installations, with Joe's beautiful art installation. We have billboards, banners displayed around Liberty Station, as well as a parade on the 3rd of July called Anchored in Freedom that we'll be hosting.
And Joe, you do have an incredible work of art here. So this is at Liberty Station right now, is that right?
Sir.
All right, show it to us. Tell us what it's all about.
Okay, so this is called The Guardian, Wings of Sacrifice. Inspiration is on a couple of folds. Dr. Gordon, who's the founder for Resurrecting Lives Foundation, works with TBI with our veterans. She had this idea, she pitched it to me, and then had an opportunity to do an art piece that would highlight the struggles of our veterans, either from combat, coming back, or from military to civilian.
Such an
I have an
important
idea,
reminder.
so this was it.
Yeah, and each of the dog tags, talk about each of the dog tags that you have that are part of this art installment.
Correct, so there's about 2,500 dog tags. The wings are comprised of about 1,000, and each wing has 11 simulated bullet holes. 1111 is Armistice Day. But if you put them together, that's 22, and that's the daily suicide rate of our veterans. Around it is our blank dog tags, and I invite veterans or families that have veterans to pick a dog tag, name, rank, branch of service, time they served, and then they become a part of the artwork. And if they share a story, when I do the presentation, then I share their story.
And Rachel, what kind of impact have you seen with installations like this for veterans especially who come and get to experience it?
Oh, it's just so moving and touching. I've seen people brought to tears. We have a whole video series called Tell Us Your NTC Story with NTC alumni. It's on libertystation.com, and we've gotten to interview past recruits that were there, and just them seeing Joe's art is just so moving and touching and beautiful, and it really does change lives.
Joe, how are you inspired, I guess, as an artist and as a veteran? How does that help shape what you come up with?
So I served a 24-year Navy career. I'm now retired out, Navy chief. And one of the things I wanted to do is leave a footprint. I want to be known as that chief that did the artwork. But more importantly, I wanted my artwork to pay tribute to the ones that have served and the ones who have really paved the way for our freedoms, and let them realize and know that they're not forgotten, that their sacrifice, not just theirs, but their families, are truly recognized, and in the art, that's what I try to do.
Yeah, when you talk about things like the suicide rate, TBI, PTSD, these are things we talk about, they're numbers. But tell us how having something that you've created visually can impact people to kind of grasp what that really means.
One of the things, especially with suicide, the family, deep, grief, and a sense of like that service member is going to be forgotten. And it's far from the truth. So my goal is to, one, get that service member still recognized as a viable asset in the military, and yet help prevent the ones that can still be saved by reaching out to them, giving them a platform to have conversations that may be very hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had conversations with many of these veterans, and it's a difficult one, especially when they've given up so much.
Correct, and the families as well. I mean, I've had, mothers. So the helmet and the boots are made with a special type of screw that is a star.
You can hold it up,
okay.
actually, again, if
so
you'd
yeah,
like.
they're made with a star screw. So this is for the Gold Star families. And the dog tag that actually is hanging from the rifle is for Victor Dew. His mom installed a screw on his behalf as he was actually killed in action. So the Battlefield Cross, if you're not familiar, when we lose someone in country, regardless of what theater, at home base, boots, rifle, helmet, and then the dog tag. The comrades can say their last respects before we take them home. So Patty gave me permission to put his dog tag because we lost him in Afghanistan. He's a Marine along with 4 others. So again, paying tribute to everyone that I can.
Yeah. Are there things that people just don't see or understand about the plight of our military members that you want them to understand?
Yes. The biggest one would be the silence. Inside, they're just screaming for help, but they don't know how to vocalize it. Through the art, it's very impactful, like Rachel's saying. And so by doing that, you know, people kind of start talking about things that they can't talk about, whether it be Vietnam veterans especially, giving them a sense of acknowledgement and, you know, that we are actually proud of their service. And it brings them to tears. I mean, it brings me to tears. This art in itself has saved lives. And, you know, whatever sacrifice I have to do to keep creating to help save a fellow veteran, I'm just going to keep doing it. I mean, I have to.
We
It's
have
my
to
new
take it.
mission. So thank you. Sorry.
No, it's had a big impact in a lot of ways, and it's so admirable that you have not only done that, but shared that with the families as well. This is a time to honor 250 years of the Navy. And Rachel, before we wrap it up, can you just tell us a little bit about what Liberty Station is doing in addition to
An entire
art
year of
installations?
celebrations.
Yeah, and July 3rd, what's happening as well?
Absolutely, yeah, we have our Anchored in Freedom Parade that we'll be doing. It's a community-wide celebration in partnership with Love Thy Neighborhood. They run the OB Holiday Parade, so we'll have patriotic floats, live music, vendors. Joe will be there bringing some of his art, and I'm just so grateful to work with you and really just celebrate our military history and everybody who served with us, and we're just so grateful to be here.
And Joe, we can see your artwork for the entire year.
For not just the entire year, but I have just opened up a gallery that's pretty much next to the art installation. So you'll be able to see so much more. There's an upcoming piece, Lady Liberty, that I'm replicating. She'll be about 20 feet tall, 80,000 drywall screws. So yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal piece.
From the heart.
That the community will be a part of, because they'll be able to help create it.
Up and bring it all to the forefront. I think it's
Yes,
important
sir.
for a lot of folks to see that. Thank you both for being here, Rachel,
Thank you
Joe.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for all your amazing work too.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back here on the Fox 5 News at 7:30.